England, wow. 45 points to 7 winners over the USA. Games don't get much more dominant or one-sided than that one. I've just seen some of the post-match stuff where Blaine Scully kind of said they maybe deserved that final try at the end. I'm not so sure. England probably could have won this one without conceding any points. It was a very, very controlled and just dominant performance from England in this one. George Ford got man of the match. He had a try and a couple of try assists, kicked most of his goals. But really, it was that English forward pack that was just absolutely at another level. And if these guys are going from a good, solid, but not spectacular win over Tonga, and they're building, despite making a bunch of changes, if they're slowly building, then I guess look out to the rest of the teams because England are looking very dangerous. The US would have liked to have done a bit better with all that rest they had in the lead up and preparation, kind of like what Uruguay did, but I guess similar to Canada in the preceding game, there wasn't enough opportunity there to take advantage of the higher ranked team. So yeah, 45 points to 7. The US defense was holding early and it needed to because they were under a lot of pressure. They lost Nu'u, the prop, earlier, which was really unfortunate. It meant that the backup had to take almost like 77 minutes of game time, which is hard if you're a front rower. Ford got that first try just after 5 minutes. The gap that he went through was enormous, but he still had to have the kind of confidence to take that chance and just put the pedal down, and he did, so that was good stuff from him. 7-0. On 8 minutes, actually, Thokanasiga had a big break down the wing, and he had a one-on-one with one of the US guys, and he was tackled, and I was kind of impressed by that defense. And overall, I think the US defense in the first half, despite shipping a few tries, was admirable because they were under a lot of pressure. The scramble was good. They were able to win turnover penalties, so it wasn't absolutely one-sided, but it was all, for the most part, in the US half. So for all that good defense, they weren't really able to turn anything around, and it was just slowly getting harder and harder for them to get back off the ground and make those tackles. 24 minutes, Billy V gets his try from the back of a big maul, and that was one of their key weapons in this one. The scrum and the maul were both just penalty machines and just meter gaining machines. They were just really all over the place. The Americans trying to defend it. 14-0. USA on 29 minutes did actually have a chance to get into the English half and set up some attacking play from a line-out. They lost the ball from the line-out straight away, so nothing was just going right for the US. 32 minutes or 33 here. Cowan Dickey gets his try. And again, just the maul. It's just too good. That makes it 19-0. They missed the conversion. I think that one hits the post from memory. And to be fair, on halftime, England almost had another try, but they knocked it on, going for the kick through. So it was 19-0 at halftime, and probably could have been more. You look at the stats, England had 66% possession and 76% territory in that first half. And 76% territory is really almost unheard of. 60% is good. 65, getting into 3/4 of it is just getting into next level stuff. So England's defense was good at 87%, but they only had to make 30 tackles and they missed 4. But it's still solid overall numbers. The Americans were at 72% and holding, but they'd still conceded 3 tries in that first half. Second half, things weren't going to get any better. I mean, Ford did make a mistake early, and that he had a penalty that he was kicking for touch, and he kicked it dead. But that's the kind of thing you want to get out of the way now, rather than in a knockout game against a more level opponent. But Thokanasiga got his try on 48 minutes. Good build-up by Joseph, who was everywhere as well. Also another candidate for man of the match, I'm sure. He was really good in the build-up. They probably could have gone himself, but didn't quite make it. 24-0 at that point. USA's scrum getting penalised after that. I've taken notes just to say that. McConaughey, who actually had a pretty quiet one, didn't get a lot of ball. He got a try though, even though, like I said, he wasn't getting a lot of ball. Got that on 58 minutes down the right wing, so 31-0. Ludlam got his first try, which is good for him as well. Another one of England's kind of fresher faces in that squad. Good player. There were some steps in the build-up as well. I think that was Ford. 38-0. Then, to make matters worse for America, Quill gets a red card on 70 minutes for a high shoulder. He tucks his arm, goes to the head of Owen Farrell. It's not a good look, and he gets red carded accordingly. So yeah, it goes from bad to worse. And then Thokana Singer eventually gets one, his second one on 76 minutes. That was all Genge though. I mean, Genge bursts down the left wing. He takes out one of the defenders. It takes like 3 guys to bring him down. Sure, Thokana Singer gets the try, but I hope the highlights will show Genge in the build-up, because that was absolutely glorious stuff. Eventually, it is... one of the US guys gets taken off. He looks really sick. Knocked to the head, I think. They take him off, I think it's the winger. Take him off on a stretcher. That's unfortunate. Hopefully he's all right. But one last bit of good news for the US. Like, they had virtually no chances to score in this game, but they didn't give up, to their credit. England have got the ball. It's gone 80 minutes. They can kick it out. They keep choosing to attack, which I guess shows kind of a ruthless attitude. But maybe in this circumstance, like, caution would have been the better part of valor if they just kicked it out and game over, because the ball just keeps fumbling and it's all over the shop. Eventually, the Americans do get a try through Campbell. It's kind of a couple of minutes after play should have finished. It was unbelievably messy in the build-up, but it is nice for the Americans to get that final chance to get points on the board, and they did it, so it's not an absolute whitewash. Still 45-7 in a game where they were dominated, but they do get that moment in the spotlight right at the end, even if it's not the result they wanted, like I say. So, they get the 7 points. Final stats: run meters 619 to 231. England very dominant. Possession 70% England. Territory 78% England. So it actually got more dominant in the second half. I guess that's indicated through the amount of tries they scored. Tackling percentage, neither side is very good actually over the course of the 80 minutes. America dropped down to 66%, but they had to attempt 159 tackles. They managed to make 105 of them. England only had 58 to make. Got those numbers around the wrong way. It is late at night here. 39 is the amount they made, so it actually finishes on 67%. So maybe that's one thing, I guess, that Eddie Jones will look at in terms of the review. But there's a lot to be happy about if you're an England fan. Not the start you wanted if you are a US fan. Individuals, Thokana Singer had 90 run meters, 4 defenders beaten and 2 clean breaks. But Joseph, he had 4 clean breaks and 6 defenders beaten. Thought he was really everywhere. Lambourne for the US he made 16 tackles even if he missed 4. One of the better defenders on the night for the US. But yeah, 45 points to 7. England looking like a genuine contender at this point. What did you guys think of the game? How happy are you if you're an England supporter? I don't believe any of the English guys went off injured from memory. A few of those concerns for the US guys on the other hand. But you guys let me know your thoughts on the result. I'm going to go to bed because it is 1:10 in the morning. And I'll see you guys. Bye.